Hey YouTube, how you doing? It is Elsie from Life at 5.0. Thank you for coming back. If you're a returning person, if you are brand new here, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. You might even want to hit the bell if you're enjoying these readings. If you're enjoying the content, please let me know in the messages below, in the comments below. So I thought I would come back and do some more readings, only because when I put up the last few videos, it looks like the most attention was on the reading that I did. And so I just did that just to find out what sort of, audience I'm dealing with here. And clearly you guys want to see more readings. So I thought what I would do is come back today and start at the top of the astrological chart again. And we're just going to go through today, starting with Aries, then Taurus, then Gemini, and so on. So this will be a reading today for the collective Aries. Collective meaning it's going to be for any Aries that logs in to watch this video. The video will be from, the energy will be from today till the end of the month. And I mean, really guys, time is fluid, so there might even be something here in these cards that you already know that you've gone through already. It may not necessarily be for the future. So, and it may not necessarily be for you. I mean, if every Aries that ever was an Aries logged in to look at their sun, moon, and rising sign and found this video, it may, resonate with them and not with you. So today I just thought I would come by. I was sitting on the sofa, I was sitting on the sofa just minding my own business, doing my own thing, watching TV. I'm watching some videos on TV, on YouTube, and I just felt the energy like I just need to get out of my seat and do some reading. Somebody needs to hear something, and I don't know who that is. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But I thought I need to do some readings today. Somebody out there needs to hear something that I have to say. So here I am. And so I just want to let you know that time is fluid, and so is energy. Energy is fluid. And so please don't get hung up on the sex of the cards. It is about energy, so that can be vice versa. That can be male and female. We all have we all have masculine and feminine energies. So this could be for you. This could be for your cross watcher. You may flip the scenario of the characters here, and it may make more sense that way. But please don't try and make it fit, and please don't give your power over to anybody who is on YouTube. Okay, you have the power to make your own decisions, and you have your agency. So I'm just going to take a moment now just to call in Archangel Michael, who is the main guide who guides me through these readings. Also, too, oh my goodness, you have such good energy. Things are popping. So I'm also going to ask any guides and angels that are willing to help today, also the holders of the pure white light, that you will bless me, that I will be used, just got chills, that I will be used as a channel today to give information to Aries for the highest good, that I will be able to understand the cards and give a good reading today. So we will cut. All right, here we go. 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords. It's in the reverse, and that's good news. Sun in the reverse. Somebody's going within. Somebody is trying to make a decision about something important. The Emperor is in the reverse. You're showing up in your reading, Aries, but you are showing up in the reverse. Star is showing up in the reverse. Ooh, the Magician showing up in the reverse. What's going on here, Aries? Got some tough decisions to make. Okay, give me just one moment to take a look here. Okay. All right, so we should look at the bottom of the cards. That will be the energy for the overall reading. Ooh, and it's a good one. It's the Ace of Swords. Ooh. Hello. There we go. It's the Ace of Swords. So communication, the beginning of some really great communication. I have a feeling, Aries, that this has been a long time coming, that there's been somebody that you haven't been communicating with, or maybe a group that you haven't been communicating with for a while that really needs to sit down and maybe have a heart-to-heart. Yeah, the beginning of good communication. I'm feeling like maybe there was maybe people or a person who you have been communicating with that that communication just stopped, and I don't know why, but we'll take that as the overall energy for the reading. And here we go. So first card out is the strongest, right? It's the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles really is about partnership. And I usually take it as, at the beginning of a reading, I usually take it as maybe work related, because this is a sort of a business. You can see that there's one person that is painting the pentacles, and then the other two are sort of looking on, admiring the work. So I kind of look at it as a business sort of partnership. You know, as I look at this too, it could be somebody painting the inside of a church, and maybe, well, you know, it looks like one of these people is possibly in clergy. It almost looks like this guy here might be a clergyman. Can't really see who the other person is, but nonetheless, they are admiring the work, and there is a partnership going on here. So it looks like perhaps he's readying the church for, you know, beautifying it, perhaps for some special occasion that might be going on. So it looks like a business partnership. That person looks like to be a creative person. They're the one that's doing the beautiful paintings that are underneath the pentacles. Next out is the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, who doesn't like a lot of money? Again, to me, this feels like it's more sort of maybe work related rather than love related. But it looks to me like you're doing pretty well in the Pentacle area. But you know, the feeling that I'm getting, or you know, the information that I feel is that maybe that you're doing this to forsake all other things. So I have a feeling that you're using this as a remedy, maybe to stop thinking about something else that might be bothering you. So maybe you're just kind of pouring yourself into work because you don't know what else to do. So, you know, you're just going to try and prepare for a rainy day just in case things get rainy and stormy. And I get that. I mean, I've done that myself. So yeah, Ten of Pentacles. That's the most you can get, Ten of Pentacles. Next thing out is the Nine of Swords, but it is in the reverse, and if you're going to have it, it's kind of good to have it in that reverse. So in the upright, it does mean that you're having sleepless nights worrying about something, sadness, depression, anxiety. But this was in the reverse, so that tells me that perhaps you're coming out of that now, that that perhaps you've been, you know, thinking it over. Perhaps you're listening to your intuition. Depending on your moon and rising sign, you could be very intuitive. So again, take a look at the moon and rising sign link in my about page, and take your time to take a look at your sun and moon and rising sign. Maybe you're Aries as a sun sign, which is the position of the sun at the time you were born, but perhaps you are, you know, a water sign that is intuitive, and that could have been in the Eastern when you were born. So yeah, it looks like either way, if you're listening to your intuition, or if you're just preparing really well, that you're coming out of this sadness, depression, anxiety phase. So you've obviously been doing a lot of thinking. But you're still defensive, really holding things to the chest, holding things really close to the chest. So not, you know, she doesn't look really happy. She looks a little afraid. She is sitting by herself in a lee there. There is a very large building behind her, but she's alone. So it looks like she's hiding away, perhaps. And, you know, I can't help but think that she's got those pentacles over her heart. So perhaps she's protecting her heart from something. Are you going through a hard time in romance, maybe? Marriage, friendship, something that's breaking your heart. It looks like she's trying to prevent anything else from hurting her. Yeah, very closed off, I think, right now. So coming out of this Nine of Swords sort of feeling of anxiety, you're still a little closed off. And I mean, that's understandable. Who isn't? You know, you don't trust all that easy after you've been hurt. You know, this Nine of Swords isn't just being hurt. This is like agonizing pain. Keeps you up at night, makes you ill, makes you sick. You can't sleep, you can't eat. So I understand after coming out of this Nine of Swords energy that you would still be a little bit not, you know, sort of maybe untrusting with you know, just giving it over to someone else. So that makes sense to me. The Sun is here, which is a good card when it is in the upright. It's really not that bad when it's in the reverse. When it's in the upright, you know, it's illuminating everything. It's a beautiful card. It means brightness and sunshine, and things are blooming, and friendships and loves. Everything is in bloom. When it is in the reverse, though, it does indicate that it does indicate, maybe a lesser bit of sun. It does indicate that maybe you're kind of feeling your inner child lately. And that's good because that can be playful as well. Maybe you're not feeling overly optimistic though. Not feeling like everything's going to turn in your favor. Not feeling as though, things are going to go the way you want them to go. So, this Nine of Swords here is kind of clouding it. When it's in the upright is amazing and wonderful and illuminating everything. When it's in the reverse, it just kind of means that you're cautious. Cautiously optimistic, I would say, but looking at things, sort of from the perspective of an inner child. So sort of innocent and, hopeful, hoping things will turn out in the end. I only say that because the next card out, by the way, the Sun is the Major Arcana card that you have, the first one that you have. Major Arcana means that this is already in play. This is something that the universe has planned for you, and you really can't change that. The things you can change are the Minor Arcana cards. I don't know if you'll notice that if you're a person who's getting a first reading, you'll see the difference in the titles here. You'll see that Major Arcana. The Minor Arcana just are like this. So you're looking at the difference of here. So this is a Major Arcana. This is a Minor Arcana. Minor Arcana are, by the way, something that you can change. Just with your agency, just the way you run your life, you may not, life may not be planned out the way these cards are laid out. So the card that I showed you here, this is the Hermit. The Hermit is usually, I see the Hermit as a positive thing. The Hermit usually shows or indicates that perhaps you're going within, and it could very well mean that that's how you figure things out. So you might seclude yourself, not necessarily talking to the people around you, not ignoring them, not mean or unkind, or that's not your intention. Your intention is to, just be maybe in nature, maybe on a walk, maybe on a bike ride by yourself. So without the children, without the wife, without, anyone else who's present, the friend. Maybe you just need to be alone to figure out what's going on at this time. This usually indicates that you've got some pretty heavy duty stuff that you've got to think over. So, he looks like he's walking in the dark. It looks like his heart though is shining, which is good. That tells me that he is open. He's open to, to the suggestions of the universe and of spirit, which is always a good thing. Even when you go within, he's in the dark though. He's carrying a lantern, so that tells me that perhaps he's counting on spirit to illuminate for him. So, so going within, you got a lot to think about right now. I'm not sure what the heavy duty. This is sort of heavy duty energy here, guys. The Sun in the reverse and the Nine of Swords is kind of a heavy energy. It's not a negative energy. It just indicates that you're listening to the universe, that you're getting some downloads, maybe trying to decipher the information. I have a feeling that whoever this particular Aries is does have water in their chart, because usually a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, you are very intuitive, whether you know it or not. Some of you could be cuspers too, so meaning that if you look up, if you put your birth date in Google and ask Google what the cusp dates are. I am a cusper. I'm a Taurus Aries cusper, so it means that I fall sort of on the line between Aries and Taurus. So that sort of gives me a mixture of personality traits from both. So yeah, go look up those signs and find out what's going on with you. And that could be very well what's going on here. I think that my intuition is telling me that your intuition is telling you that it's time to go within, time to figure out more information about, the next steps that you should take. Now, you're showing up to your own reading here, Aries, but you are the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in the upright, this is a father. This is a kind man who takes care of everything and everyone. He's the financial guy. He is the person who runs empires. Think about that. That's not something to be taken lightly. He is the guy who runs empires. Like I'm talking huge empires, people, finances, families, making sure everyone has everything that they need. He's a father. He's a son. He just takes care of everything. When he's in the reverse, he's not having it. So he is still taking care of what he needs to take care of, but he may be a little more harsh than usual. He is what are the words that I want? He is, he's more dominant, I guess is what I want to say. He may use excessive control. Usually when he's in the reverse is because he's feeling a little bit out of control. And this guy is the guy that's always in control. So, you know, this guy or this girl is always the one that's in control. So when it's in the reverse, it can indicate maybe a lack of discipline or maybe a little bit of inflexibility. So you're not having it is basically it. You're the guy that's large in charge and it's your way or the highway. This way, yeah, you're still large and in charge, but a little more kind and considerate, I guess you could say. So kind of makes sense though because of, you know, everything that's going on here. It kind of makes sense to me. Then the star has come up in reverse for you as well. I just love this card. Look how beautiful it is. The star is a beautiful card, and it usually indicates hope, faith, balance, trust, connection. You know, it's all the beautiful things. You can see that she's got two chalices here, and she's got liquid in both of them, and she's mixing them into the water. So she desperately wants to make sure that everything is in balance. When it though comes up in the reverse for you, it does mean, you know, a little bit of the opposite. So right now, I mean, you might be lacking faith. Perhaps you can't really see into the future as you're used to. You know, knowing that you're making the right decision, you could be in a bit of a fog. So it's a bit of a lack of faith. Maybe sometimes it can be a little bit of despair. You know, you're trying to trust your intuition, but you feel a little bit disconnected is all. So I think that's all going to clear up once you get out of your hermit phase. I think this confusion comes into play when the hermit is involved. I mean, you go within so you can figure this stuff out. So I don't think it's really a huge thing to worry about, Aries. I think you just need to figure out what's going on. The Magician is also major arcana, and the Magician has come up in the reverse. The Magician, you know, the Magician here, when it comes in the upright, is about, you know, having all the tools in the tickle trunk. You can see there he has a sword, he has a chalice, he has a pentacle, and he has a rod. And he also has the infinity symbol over his head, which means he's got really everything he needs to get done, he or she. So when it comes up in the reverse, though, it does mean you're feeling a bit manipulated, or maybe you're the one doing manipulation in order to get things to fall in the way you want. And I mean, don't take manipulation as a negative thing. We all do manipulate life to a certain point, right? We all have to in order to make things move in the direction that we need them to move in. I think this is more of an indication of a little bit of poor planning, that perhaps you thought you had it in the bag, and you know, you're just going to let things take their you're letting life live you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You're letting life live you rather than you living life and being in control. So that kind of goes along with sort of the theme of this reading. I think that perhaps it's time, once you get out of this hermit mode, to maybe just, you know, think about things, connect with people, reconnect with your intuition, just have some time alone and go within and try and make decisions that might maybe turn the Magician in the upright. The thing is I'm not really worried about all of this in this reading, because in the end it ends up being a pretty great reading, because after you do all that, you know, after you come out of this Nine of Swords and, you know, feeling that you have to protect yourself and throwing yourself into work, you know, in these partnerships, trying to make money and just building your bank account because you have nothing else that you think you have control of, you know, going through the hermit phase, and, you know, the sun's not really your friend right now. You know, you're kind of feeling a little bit tense and maybe not making the best decisions. The thing is that it's all coming to an end. It is, because the World card indicates that there is something better that's coming up. So it indicates that that there is a cycle coming to an end, and that a new cycle is about to begin. So really, I think this whole reading is about you making a new life, about you making a new move. And the World card is the card that indicates that a cycle is going to close and a new cycle is going to open. And the new cycle is going to be a personal closure for you. It is not to be taken lightly. This isn't like you've decided you've got a different flavor of cereal you're interested in, for lack of better explanation. This is major, guys. This is like life as you know it is about to change. Life as you knew it is going to stop. So whatever you're doing right now, you're about to close that out, and you're about to start a brand new life, doing new things, making new decisions, taking the information you learned while you were in hermit mode, taking the information that you learned by listening to your intuition and, knowing that you need to move this Magician card upright. You're now coming out of the Ten of Swords. This is healing. This reading is about healing, and inevitable is that after you heal, you're going to come out and make some conversation. You're going to tell people why you were disconnected and by yourself, and what was going on with you, essentially, because I feel like people are worried about you. So that's good news. That's like the best news ever. At the end of the reading, and sometimes when you look at it at first, it can be a little concerning, but this is just all healing, Aries. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to start living your life and to have life stop living you. It's time for communication. It's time to connect. It's time to reconnect and turn these upright. Look at that. When you reconnect and you turn upright, you are large and in charge. You have hope that you can give to others, not only yourself. That means large and in charge, and you have hope. You have balance. You have all the things you need in the tickle trunk in order to get you through life. You know instinctively what to do because you have hope and balance. So don't get too worried about what's going on here. This is, I think, a beautiful reading, actually. Beautiful because it's all about healing. And I'm just going to use my card to clarify what the Nine of Swords is about, because we know that there is some sadness and despair there that you're coming out of, but I'm really interested to know what was making you so sad. And just going to ask Spirit if for a bit of a clarification on the Nine of Swords, please. Can I have a clarification on the Nine of Swords, Spirit? Okay, so it looks like it might have something to do with love. Moving a little bit slow. This is usually the love card that indicates, that love is coming in fast. It looks like things are moving a little slow. So perhaps things in love are moving slow. So maybe you've hit a slump in your marriage, your relationship, a relationship with a friend, a child, anyone who you love. Maybe you've hit a slump there and it's not going as quickly as you want in order to get things back on track. And I'm just going to ask for another clarification here for the Nine of Swords in reverse. Nine of Swords in reverse clarification, please, Spirit. And we've got the King of Wands in the reverse. So the King of Wands is, in the reverse, is not really very social, not looking for new beginnings, sort of just going through the day-to-day, figuring out what's going on and getting it done, essentially. And that comes along with not really being inspired. Oh my gosh, look at this. Everything is falling all over the place. Your energy is really high. And I think your energy is high because you're really thinking things out. You're making big decisions and big moves. One last card to clarify the Nine of Swords. And it looks like you're going a new direction in passion and just going down a new road, a new path. Passion and action. You're taking action to go down a new road. I also am going to clarify the Four of Pentacles. See why you're all closed off here. What is closing you off? The Four of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. There's been a death here, so it looks like the end of the end of something. Could be a friendship, could be romance, could be many things. Job. Maybe you're starting a new job. Perhaps I'm going to ask for another clarification, please, for the Four of Pentacles. Why do we have the Four of Pentacles here? What is ended? What's ended here? Death has come to something. And death is a good card, you know. It always means that something has come to an end because something else is ready to start. So it's not really a card to be terrified of. It doesn't usually mean physical death. It means, you know, death of things that, you know, didn't serve you. And that's okay too. Temperance in the reverse. So the Temperance in the reverse is, it's sort of an imbalance. It means that you need self-healing and realignment, and so that's the Hermit card. We know that's happening already. Is that two cards there? Yeah, we're just going to go for one more card here for, because you're already telling us things that we know from the other spread here, Spirit. Is there anything else that we need to know about the Four of Pentacles? Anything else we need to know? This one. Oh, I think you're making a decision to leave someone to go see someone else. So the Knight is the most passionate knight in the deck, and that is a fast-moving horse. That is the fastest-moving horse in the deck. You'll see that there is, on his staff, it looks like he's got some brand new, something that's starting brand new. The thing is that this guy is going in fast, but he's given his passion out willy-nilly. So willy-nilly meaning, you know, he's riding in quick, and he is just saying, hey, get over here, you're mine, we're doing this. So just be mindful of that perhaps the person that you approach maybe isn't into that. And also, he's the guy that gets in fast, but also gets out fast. So also just be aware of that. I don't think we really have to clarify anything else. I think I just want to pull, though, one of these cards for you. I'm feeling like the Sacred Traveler is feeling like we just need a little bit more advice for you, Aries. But before I do that, I'm just going to ask Spirit, if everything stays this way, if you change nothing within this reading here, tell me what the final outcome is going to be here. Final outcome, Spirit, should nothing change in this reading, what would be the final outcome here for the month of April for Aries, for the rest of the month of April for Aries? You're going to have a Tower moment. So once you go within and, you know, the Tower is nothing to be terrified of. It really isn't. You are going to be making decisions which are going to shake up your world. It's going to break anything down that doesn't serve you, and you're going to build it back up better and stronger than it ever has been. And you're coming out of the Eight of Swords. This person is trapped, or they feel like they're trapped, blindfolded, feel like they're trapped and can't get away from the swords. However, you're coming out of that. So that's a great reading, Aries. It really is a great reading. I'm just going to pull one more of these. The Sacred Traveler cards, I really love them. They usually seem to go with the overall reading of what we're into here. So healing is what we're into here. Sacred Traveler, I'm just going to pull one from the middle. What have we got for you, Aries? And we've got Tread Thoroughly is what we've got, because it's going to be a narrow pathway. And narrow pathway. Take a look here. The narrow pathway. Do not make quick decisions. Think things through. Remember? Think things through, Aries. Think them through. Tread carefully. If you rush into anything, if you rush into anything, there are potential difficulties to be found. Keep very focused and don't allow yourself to get distracted. Your project will succeed if you go slowly. The relationship will grow, but don't be in a hurry. Let it all emerge in its own time. Be thoughtful and in all areas of your life. Divine timing. It's divine timing, Aries. You have to wait for your divine ruler to help you through this. When the path becomes narrow, the Sacred Traveler would like you to know, success will ensue if you go slowly and carefully. The Traveler takes on one step at a time, deliberately and cautiously. No detail of the path is overlooked. Keep your focus on the steps ahead. Do not get ahead of yourself. Breathe, relax, breathe and relax, Aries. Breathe and relax. It's coming. It's in divine timing. You can't change this, remember? The Creator is in charge of this. The Creator is in charge of this because you didn't take care of it. So, what we got here at the end? When you trust the light of stars, your silent spirits and guardians take care of you, and the joy of your guiding North Star, the joy of your guiding North Star to navigate in the darkness, in the morning light, you'll find yourself at the right place at the right time. Follow the narrow path, Aries, and be careful. Be careful of the path you're taking. Take the path that your intuition is telling you, because there's going to be beautiful change at the end. Make sure you think it through, and you will have balance. Please don't be scared of your tower moment. It's taking you to things that are beautiful. Just be careful on the narrow path, okay? And that's all I have for you today. What a beautiful reading. I hope this all works out the way it's supposed to work out for you, Aries, whoever this reading is for. Thank you. Bye.